my recent video I made about the Mega Man Zero and ZX collection, I mentioned that I thought that Capcom was absolutely kicking ass, and it seems like that trend may be continuing. I usually don't report on rumors, speculation, or BS, but I highly suspect that Capcom is up to something huge with Resident Evil. So I want to talk about it and see if my viewers agree with me, because I feel if you dig a little deeper, you could come to the conclusion that Resident Evil Outbreak Remake or Resident Evil Outbreak 3 is coming. Before I start, I do want to say that I could be 100% wrong about this. I don't have any secret inside sources on this one. I'm just seeing things happen as a fan that I've seen happen in the past. For those that don't know, Resident Evil Outbreak consisted of 2 games for the PS2. You had Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak File Number 2 that let you play online in the very early days of console gaming when it sucked. I didn't like them anywhere near as much as I did the mainline Resident Evil games, but they did have a huge following. It was Resident Evil Online Co-op, taking place during Raccoon City. So what's this new stuff that Capcom's been working on? What do we know for sure? What we do know for sure is that on September 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Capcom is revealing a new title codenamed Project Resistance. It's some kind of multiplayer something. If you go on their actual website, you'll see that the R and the E are highlighted. It's Resident Evil for sure. There's no other reason the R and the E would be highlighted if it wasn't Resident Evil related. If it's not Resident Evil related, they are purposely misleading us. And you may ask yourself, why do I think that's Resident Evil Outbreak File Number 3 or whatever they're going to call it? And that's a valid question. Nothing about this screams Outbreak. But we have images. Look at these characters. We don't see Jill. We don't see Chris. We don't see Leon. Nobody familiar from the series. In fact, these look like everyday, very generic people. I've actually seen some people complaining about this, but if it's an Outbreak game, that's the whole point. The characters in Outbreak were regular people trying to survive Raccoon City. I mean, there was a cop, a waitress, a bus driver, a news reporter. They were just regular ass people. Also, Raccoon City is a popular setting again. With how extremely well Resident Evil 2 Remake did, you know Capcom is going to jump right back into the Raccoon City storyline. Why wouldn't they? It's like a sandbox that reopened itself after a couple of decades, and now they can go in and play in it again. But if you think these little details might be slightly convincing, I have something else that's even more convincing than this. I got curious and thought, what would happen if I go to ResidentEvilOutbreak.com? Because back in the day, every time a new game got announced, this is before the YouTube era, I always used to go on their official websites. That's always where you found all the coolest updates. So I typed in ResidentEvilOutbreak.com, and what do I get? Now, for the record, it's looked like this for a little while. A blank screen that just says, OK. But it didn't always look like this. Let's take a quick history lesson here. The exact same thing happened to the Resident Evil 2 website just before the remake was officially announced. They had a Resident Evil 2 website, bam, blank screen that said OK. Then the remake was announced. It's the same thing happening again. This just has to be something Outbreak related. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or if you think I'm wearing a tinfoil hat and I'm looking way too deep into it and it's just going to be something completely original. I don't think so. And for the record, I don't think this is going to be the official next Resident Evil. I think it's probably going to be more of a side story. I think we'll still get a traditional Resident Evil 8. We're for sure going to get Resident Evil 3 Remake. All of this is just a matter of time. I think this will be a side project to keep us entertained in the meantime. That's all the news I have for you today. I will catch you guys later. Assuming the hurricane doesn't blow me away. Since you made it to the end of this video, I assume you enjoyed it, so why don't you go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any new content. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, links in the description below, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can join my Patreon or become a channel member. This is Fabian, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.